So here's the thing. I've been a Grand Champion 1 in 3v3 for quite a while now, since picking up the game in 2016. Season upon season, I find myself solo queuing my way back up with relative ease. The start of Season 9 was a rocky one, finishing my placements with 4 wins and 6 losses, hovering around the 1350 MMR range. Obviously, the mega tilted teammates I was then queued up with the following game was quite a struggle, but hey, I carried on anyway. We now get towards the midpoint of the season and my rank has fallen lower and lower, to the point where I'm now stuck at Champion 2. I will admit, I also take the blame for many of those losses I've had due to simple errors, but I'm now at a point where I'm at the lowest rank I've been for quite some time in 3s. So it prompted me to set out on a journey before this season ends, to see if I can reclaim that coveted Grand Champion 1 status. The first chapter of the journey begins over at Champions Field. I loaded into Champions Field with a bit of confidence, securing a top 8 result in one of the GC tournaments hosted just prior. It actually boggled me that I could do so well in these GC tournament matches every so often and could somehow not even manage to get one step closer to Grand Champion 1 in normal 3v3s. And let me tell you, the first 30 seconds of this match had my heart rate almost through the roof. This so-called confidence almost vanished out of nowhere. However, was able to secure the first goal for the game. During these first parts of the season, I had always seemed to be paired with a duo pair whenever queuing 3s, so I was relieved that everyone in this lobby was solo queuing and had that little glimmer of hope, being 1 goal up. From the first minute, I knew that I had the better set of teammates on the field and was able to dictate what they were trying to achieve whenever setting up their plays. So I really built my playstyle around them for this game, often letting them cut rotation to take possession of the ball or even an upcoming shot, even when I was better placed to take it. It is one thing I've noticed since playing with the lower ranks this season, that many times your teammates really don't know what you're actually trying to achieve with the ball, and there's definitely that lack of trust. But overall, we managed to work well as a team. The start of this competitive session was the polar opposite to what I had just days prior, where I began to decline all the way down from Champion 3 Division 4 to Champion 2 Division 4. But with Rocket League being Rocket League, knew I had to keep my focus going into the next game. In this next part of the journey, I ran into my first team for the session. It was nice for a change to see them all at a 1300 level MMR, compared to most games I'd see this season where the duo party was clearly a lower ranked player paired with a 1600-1700 GC player on a Smurf account. Though as I took the first kickoff, was a little concerned on the positioning of both my teammates. I had the opportunity to score the first goal for the match, but that kind of turned into more of a passing option. The only problem though, my teammates were nowhere to be seen. And as I was retreating back onto defense, saw this happen. No biggie, 1 goal down to start the game, we can get back into this. I cheat up to grab the mid boost and this happens. Yup. Already, the team was falling apart and things just weren't looking good. I had flashbacks to my previous rank session, hoping to not decline even further. Surely it couldn't get worse, right? I honestly don't know why I bother with this game sometimes. So we're 3 goals down and I thought, hey, I can see my teammate getting the corner boost, so I thought I'm going to take possession of the ball. Nope, it's actually his, so I should have left it for him to go for. Next thing you see, he's almost double committing for every single ball that both my other teammate and I were going for. So much that he almost scores on our own net. So it was at this point that I knew the game was well over and thought, hey, I'm just going to throw up the vote to forfeit button alongside one of my teammates. Of course, like in any hero's journey, you have the antagonist, and that antagonist for this game was my teammate. So of course, thought it'd be fun to waste everyone's time for the remaining 2 minutes of the game. I really needed some help. Fresh off a loss, I had hope with 2 brand new teammates. A chance to retrieve some of that MMR back, and a chance to get revenge on one of the teammates I had in the last game. Here I was, thinking I had a perfect shot on the ball. However, my mate Saxy saw otherwise, which of course, set up the opponents to score the first goal for the game. Now I know every hero faces challenges during that journey, but why, in my journey, did I have to go down 1 goal every single game I queued in this session? Like, someone explain that to me. Oh wait, I'm the narrator of this scuffed journey, so I guess I'll continue on from here. Anyway, we were 2 goals down and we seriously needed to start getting back into this game. Suddenly, I saw the perfect passing opportunity from one of my teammates, so I decided to go for it. It was a back and forth affair between the opponents and my team, exchanging a few close plays. Usually, by the 3rd game, I'm much more warmed up and landing a lot of my touches on the ball. Somehow, this pinch with my teammate shot the ball towards the opponent's net, almost going in, allowing Saxy to capitalize on it. The team were looking good, and this amazing solo play from DOS actually gave us the lead for the first time in the game. But of course, Here is where I get way too aggressive as last man, deciding to push up on the ball. The ball flew straight over my head, leaving Saxy alone to defend a 3v1 in net. But the opponents were just too good, scoring the equaliser with 31 seconds left in the game. And here I was in my first overtime for the session, and I tell you, there were many moments where I got really flustered and actually missed the ball, causing my teammates to pick up the slack for me. I'll leave you for the moment with this bit of overtime. I managed to rotate just in time to give DOS the pass to secure the win in overtime. It's always a good day whenever I don't lose more than 2 games of Rocket League in a row. Continuing on my journey over at Salty Shores. And surprise, surprise, I actually had 2 of my old opponents as my teammates for the game, so I was actually feeling quite confident going into this one. This is also the first time I saw a 1300 MMR player trying to carry their 1100 MMR teammates. Finally, it felt like all the odds were actually stacked in my favour, so really, I just had to play my normal, everyday kind of game. It was no surprise to see both my teammates set up a nice play to score the first goal for the game. Although it's only small, scoring the first goal in a game of Rocket League really does boost up that confidence. The score was 3-2 with just under 2 minutes left in the game. In that split moment, I decided to challenge for an aerial, however, was easily beaten in a 50-50, leaving the net wide open for the opponents to score the equaliser. From time to time, whenever I'm paired with a duo team in 3v3, I feel like they're playing more to a 2v2 style and relying only on each other, almost seeing me as just another obstacle in the way. But I will acknowledge it is my own fault for solo queuing in 3v3. Luck was on my side and we ended up winning by 2 goals, leaving my record at 3 wins, 2 losses for the session so far. So I thought, why not? I'm going to queue one more game for this session. I feel like this was the first game where the lobby was actually equally matched. I felt like I'd seen most of these players in previous GC lobbies that I'd queue in, so I found it interesting that a lot of people seem to really be struggling here in OCE to actually climb up the ranks. I'm just glad I didn't derank any further when the bots started plaguing competitive. I feel like I would have been diamond by this point if the bots were still roaming around. It was good signs for me with my team taking the first goal for the match, and just a brief moment later, caught one of my opponents off guard by booming the ball downfield straight into their goals for the second goal of the game. Yeah, my team let through a goal about halfway through the game. However, knew if we continued to play solidly, we could actually get this win. The time was ticking down, closer to the 1 minute 30 mark on the clock. I was nailing all of my touches. The team were getting perfect rotation, so all was looking in control. I was back on defense and my teammate got a rather soft clear, so decided to aerial to challenge my opponent. I saw another opponent get a demo on my teammate, so I actually tried to get a bump on them. However, missed that, leading to another goal being scored for the equaliser. Here I was thinking, okay, it's going to be a normal kickoff, right? Well, have a look at what happens. You can't make this up either. My internet completely just went down the toilet. Recently, I've been experiencing some very weird lag, thinking that it was either my RAM or my CPU stuffing up, or just having too much stuff on my computer in general. However, soon discovered that my PlayStation controller was switching in and out of sleep mode whenever I was trying to hit the ball. But this wasn't the case this time. It was just my internet malfunctioning in that short period of time. Of course, of all times, it had to be during a kickoff when the game was tied, and nothing improved from there either, leaving my record at 3 wins and 2 losses for the session. I'd started at 1315 MMR, and finished at 1323. A whopping 8 MMR earned over this 1.5 hour session. That includes the ridiculous wait times for a game here in OCE. As I concluded my Rocket League session, I pondered upon the question as to whether or not I'd actually achieve Grand Champion again. Maybe I'd just have to settle with being a Champion 3 for the rest of my life. But this average Joe knows his journey isn't over just yet, so maybe there'll be more to come. I'm Jack, and this is the rise back to Grand Champion.